Hello everyone, it's me, Hyper. Welcome to round 12 of FPS. We are here at the worst French circuit there is possible, and it's raining. This just sums up my week. Rain. So, honestly in here as the spectators per usual. Lap data on. Oh, obviously it's going to be wet intermediate tyres today. So yeah, we'll just keep it like this for now. Let me go chuck the link into the chat just so the drivers know the FPS has got a stream tonight. Unfortunately, I had to be a bit late due to me. I went to the shop because I had to. So yeah, don't blame me. Actually, do blame me because I'm the reason we're late. But yeah, I had to go to the shop to get some water. So yeah, that's fun. And Reese, first one out here today on track. I'm just checking if the stream's live. Yes, it is. Okay, that is good. Apparently, Luke Vessel's using manual gears for the first time, so be prepared for some scary times. And it will stay on with Reese, considering he was the first one out. Button's back, surprised he's a teammate. And some of these guys I've actually never seen before, so first time for everything. But again, they're just going to hit this race for the end of this season. Next season, obviously, is a season 2, brand new calendar. Really excited for that. Obviously, I'm going to still be a commentator for next season. Hopefully I'll be able to make every single race, as Luke Vettel already gets an incident. Not fun. Anyway, yeah. So hopefully I'll be your commentator next season, for the whole season, rather than in and out like I have been. I don't really want to explain my personal reasons, but just understand that it's not exactly been the best of times for me. I've had to drop out of the other leagues I commentate to for a little while. For example, WRL, I commentated in, but I had to drop out in the last minute. Like, last 4 races of the season, I've kind of just said no, I'm not going to commentate. And that was to try and make sure I stayed more steady with both WRL and FPS. But anyway, whilst we watch Reese's lap, we'll go through the standings. In first is Trench with 168 points. Second is Buttons back with 164. Now, just want to point out, they are the only 2 who can win the title. Reese, though, who is 29 points behind Trench on 139, can get second. But unfortunately, it's 3 points off first, so it's really Trench versus Buttons back for the win. In fourth is Brown with 107 points. Fifth, Luke Vessel with 95 points. Sixth, GoLove Secro with 71 points. Seventh, Lightning Poker with 65. Eighth, True Grosjean with 54. 9th, Jupiter X with 38. 10th, the Jigsaw Motor with 34. 11th is Studio with 22. 12th is Decus with 18. 13th, Dark Knight with 18. 14th, Quistiard with 14. 15th is Burton X with 0. And 16th is Killer Clown with 0. Meanwhile, in the Constructors, Alpha is leading by 11 points on 190 to McLaren in second on 179. Now, obviously, with the fact that Reese, who's just taken a massive slide there, has got 2 people in his team tonight, and Trench has the I haven't scored yet Burton X and himself. It's looking like McLaren could easily gain those 11 points back. And in third is Renault with 164 points. Sorry, 26 points behind. Now that team is obviously Buttons back and Hotshot. So it's very possible they get a win and they can win the championship as well. In fourth is Mercedes with 119 points. Fifth, Scuderia Ferrari with 107. Sixth, Racing Point with 105. Seventh is Haas with 98. Eighth is Red Bull with 62. Ninth is Williams with 28. And 10th is Toro Rosso with 18. So we will go back to the race and we'll just keep watching. Feel free to get involved in the comments, as a lot of people seem to be going back to the pits. Guys, can you just set a lap? We reset a lap, in all fairness, as True Grosjean comes in on pole with a 1:45.7. You know it's peak. You know it's peak. When you're doing 1:45s at just this track, like the worst track in the world. Anyway, Burton X sits at 1:49.9. Steed Crusher sits at 1:51.7, but Trench goes pole over 1:43.6. So quite a few people setting some decent laps here. RHGTX comes third with 1:49.3, so a big gap between people. And Crazy Trooper sits at 2:03. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that's not the greatest lap in the world. Jupiter X coming near to the finish line, so we can see his decent lap. It looks like he will be staying out. Obviously, the pit lane now has changed quite a bit, and it's going to be a 1:48.3, putting him in third position, very, very close to RHGNTX. I want to name him something. I don't know what to name him. As we reset to 1:43.1, puts himself pole, 5/10. RHGNTX. What should I name you? We're going with a nickname for him. You know what, we're going to call him Rick and Morty. RHGNXT, you're down Rick and Morty's Lightning Focus is a 1:47.69 on his lap. Trench goes back into the pits after setting his faster lap. True Grosjean joins him. So it looks like some people are having troubles on these tyres here. Luke Vessel also out on his flying lap. People kind of don't know where the track goes here, I'm guessing. The Stick Cruiser's not having the best of times either. Luke Vessel on the other hand, just down the main straight. Well, the main back straight. Oh, Crazy Trooper improves his time for a 1:45.4. That's a lot better from the Toro Rosso driver, have to say. So at the Jigsaw Moto, Buttons back, Brown and Luke Vessel still yet to set a lap. And most of the guys at the back have set laps. As Hotshot sits at 1:59.1. I do believe that was an improvement on his previous lap. I will just check. Oh, nope. Apparently they're both invalid, but he still set them. So very mixed abilities here. So yellow flag in sector 1, not sure who that's for. We'll keep on with Luke Vessel just to see what lap time he can set. It's actually looking like a very, very decent lap. If this isn't invalidated, I'll be very surprised, but it's looking like a 1:44 here. And it is a 1:44.8, and he's just less than a second behind Trench. I'm just over a second, sorry, behind Trench. So a very, very good position he's put himself in here. I don't know whether these yellow flags are, and I don't know who to really watch, so we'll just go on with Buttons back. And it's currently Toro Rosso 4th, 5th, Haas 6th, 7th. So a lot of teammates just trying to stay on the same row as each other, really. I mean, well, kind of row, I mean, it's a row the wrong way, but let's just wait till Buttons back gets up there in like 3rd. Or 4th. No, yeah, gets 3rd or 4th, yeah. Or 2nd. Or he could get 1st. You don't know. That's the point of qualifying. That's you can tell I'm in one of those moods today. I am ready to judge you. As Buttons back will come home to set a 1:44.9. Yep, like I said, a 10th off Luke Vessel, and he's getting 4th. And now that does put these guys on rows with each other. Meanwhile, I don't know who's next I know it's Brown next to set a lap. His is going to be a 144, but will it be a 140? Oh, it's a 144.1. He has put himself up into third place. You know, I really have to say, Brown looks like he's mastered the wets in comparison to his dry times, at least. Or Luke Vessel and Buttons back can really just push on and get something better. Well, some people back out on laps. Burton X has a 149.9. I believe Hotshot improved his lap time to a 152 as well. So well done to Hotshot there. 152.3. Burton X just enjoying not knowing where the track is. I think this is the best I've watched in a racer's career. Jokes. Luke Vessel's back on a lap as well. Button's back also on a lap. He's actually coming to the end of his second run. So it will be Buttons back, followed by Luke Vessel and Brown to set laps. Doing their second laps. But the Jigsaw Moto's gone on to softs. I don't think it's dry enough for him. As Buttons back sets a 144.4, improving on his time and overtaking Luke Vessel. I mean, my question is the Jigsaw Moto going to go for that soft strat? I mean, to me, it just looks too wet. Like, there's spray still coming out the back of these tyres. And I can't see rain go down, and Luke Vessel, I'm pretty sure that's illegal. As Brown also joins him going into the pits. Rick and Morty... Oh, someone's had a crash. Oh, it's Jupiter X. Yep, here's Rick and Morty down the main straight, just weaving. Probably got an invalid lap time or something. Who else on our lap? True Grosjean. Yeah. And the crazy boy. Crazy Stormtrooper. Where are you going to watch this guy? Rick and Morty, Rick and Morty. Oh, there goes Jupiter X, and Rick and Morty's just like, I'll take that position, thank you. Come again. Trench is on an outlap as well. Jupiter X going slowly, and I think True Grosjean is one of the only real people on a lap here. We'll compare his sector times in a second, but to me, I'm not really sure if it would be much of an improvement here. If I'm being honest, I'm really not sure. I don't actually know where Sector 2 ends, so it ends there. I'll have a check. So he's had a better Sector 1 by 5, and by quite a bit, but Sector 2 was awful, so clearly he's decided to screw that lap. Crazy Trooper on the other hand, the less we say about that one, the better, I think. But, yeah, it's invalid. Trench also now going on our lap. Well, he already was on our lap. True Grosjean trying to find the pit lane. It'd just be like that sometimes. There's next on our lap. Hotshot on our lap as well. And Trench is near the end of his lap. And to be honest, I actually do think the rain is coming off less. So Trench has basically just screwed over his first sector, but improved his second sector. He's not going to gain by much, and if he does gain, it'll be minimal. Nope, he's done in the pits. Buttons back onto the mediums. Most people on the outlap still with inters. Reese looking to go out on inters. But Trench is going back into the pits. Buttons back has got his mediums ready. This is a very odd qualifying session here. As Rick and Morty's being chased down by a Renault. Is that Skid? No, that is not Skid. That is Reese. So I've got to be honest, I don't even think Rick and Morty's beaten his own lap time here. But I could be wrong. As he will come home and set a 1 minute 49. He's beaten it. No, he's not even beaten it. He's got 1:49.8. As Burst Next actually improved to 1:49 as well. Oh, Jigsaw Moto's put on some inters. I don't know if he's just going out to set a lap because he can, or what. But most people are still going out inters, but as you can see here, the spray is not as bad. I mean, yes, DRS hasn't been enabled, but there could be a last-ditch chance. Buttons Back was also put on inters. True Grosjean's put on mediums. I personally think you could try it on... It's like at a changeover here. There's no more rain coming down. We know this. Like, it stopped raining completely, so... I can see a clear racing line as well. So... I mean, if people want to try it, I'd suggest doing it. But Jigsaw Moto's not taking any chances. Trench isn't either. To anyone who's out right now isn't taking a second chance. They are just going for it. And that was a spin from Wii Races. I was just literally looking away. I didn't realise he'd spin at that point, but damn, that is Wii Races qualifying more or less over. Here we are now with Luke Vessel. He's just gone past Wii Race. Yep. There we go. Luke Vessel running very, very wide. And True Grosjean is the only person going out on mediums. Now, I'd just like to say, if he does set a brilliant lap on these mediums, not only will I A, be blimmin' shocked, but I will B, be saying I told you so. I don't know who to, because I'm not really trying to beat anyone in this, I'm just saying. As Luke Vessel doesn't look to have been setting a better lap than that 1:44.8. So I think he'll just go again. Brown on the other hand, looking alright. I don't know if I don't think his lap times will be better, I'm being honest. Yeah, first and second sector both slower. He's just warming up for his final lap. Has anyone else really moved positions? I do know that Grosjean and Crazy Trooper both beat Jupiter X on... Oh, I know, Lightning Poker, sorry. Has improved on his last lap, but that was a while ago. I'm really interested in True Grosjean to see what he can do. But these guys have no grip whatsoever. I honestly am telling you now, True Grosjean might have pole here. I'm going to watch his lap because I think he's got pole. Like, yeah, Trench can beat his own lap time. Luke Vessel and Crazy Trooper retired. Rick and Morty and we race both technically out. DRS is enabled. Oh, True Grosjean has played this perfectly. He's played it to a T. He has got pole. Unless he invalidates, he has got pole. He can go round and set whatever lap time he likes, as he is on pole. Trench is retired, he's in second at this moment in time. So currently, nobody else really going to improve. Obviously, True Grosjean and Jigsaw Moto are the two that will be, if anything, improving / setting a better lap time. To Jigsaw Moto because he's not set one, and True Grosjean because he's on the mediums. I don't think anyone else is going to improve their times on the mediums, but True Grosjean, ooh, it could be very, very tight here for him. And looking, his first sector was better, second sector slightly worse. I actually think going on the mediums might have been the slight downfall here to his plan. Obviously they won't be as grippy, but he's definitely looking good enough to set a 139, 140. It will be tight here. It will be tight. I've got to be honest. But True Grosjean is going to come through with a 1 minute 44.5. He's put himself in 5th. It's not enough of an improvement. DRS was enabled, but clearly it just wasn't dry enough for True Grosjean to improve that much. He's now stuck on slightly worn mediums in 5th, whilst everyone else has, well, whatever tyre they choose. The Jigsaw Moto puts himself up with 144.9. So, really, True Grosjean is tonight's biggest loser at the moment. And if you're going to do something like that, go out on softs. The Luke Vettel and Rick and Morty both have 5-place grid penalties, which means technically Lightning Poker moves up to 6th, Jigsaw Moto up to 7th, Crazy Trooper into 8th, Jupiter X to 9th, Burton X into 10th. Then, well, Steel Crasher into 12th and Hot Shot into 13th last. But Rick and Morty goes down to last. So both the Mercedes with penalties. Have to say though, I do think Reese has got this race. Got to be honest. And as for second place, I'm going to give it to... You know what? I'm going to give second place to Buttons back. But I think he's not going to win the championship because Trench will be third. That's my opinion. Oh no. Don't say you have a lobby glitch. Please don't say you have a lobby glitch. Oh no, it's fine. It's loading. Anyway, as we wait for these guys to ready up, I don't have much to do. Hurry up. Do 5 red lights. Oh wait, no, it's formation lap, never mind. So as for tyre choices, let's go. We raced mediums, Trench mediums, Brown softs, Buttons back softs, True Grosjean. Oh, sorry, Buttons back mediums, True Grosjean mediums, obviously. Lightning Poker mediums, the Jigsaw Moto softs, Crazy Trooper mediums, Jupiter X mediums, Burton X softs, Luke Vettel mediums, Skull Crusher mediums, Hot Shot softs, and Rick and Morty on the mediums. So yeah, not really much diversity there. It's just softs and mediums. I mean, you're going to take the mediums about 16 laps. You're going to take the softs about 11. So, yeah. It's not really a hard strat for France. It's just literally exactly the same strat. All you were doing is just, you know, deciding whether you hit lap 11 or lap 16. Most people will be pitting at lap 16. But there are some well, maybe not even teams, but there are some people who are pitting in correctly. I also just realised Trench is on his own in his team. I might have actually called Burton X Trench's teammate a while ago. Not fun. I know League for Rookies. Yeah, if you've seen the back markers here, you might be able to join. The shots. The funny thing is, there's actually a league called League of Noobs, like, there's a community about it, so go join that. Or actually message Trench if you do want to join here, because I'm sure he might let you. Might. Maybe. Possibly. I mean, he allowed Luke Vettel, so... I'm only throwing shots, guys, don't worry. It's all jokes, until you realise I actually mean it about Luke Vettel. No. Anyway... 5 red lights that we don't get to see because, you know... Oh, there we go. 5 red lights. for the French Grand Prix, round number 12 FPS, and away we go. Yes, Owen really is. Brown has overtaken Trench already. Reese has backed him off, but Brown is looking up the inside. Button's backed up a few positions as well, I believe. Trench up lightning, woke her up. Someone's crashed. It's True Grosjean and Bertex. Oh, it's been a disaster. It's been an absolute disaster. Position changes. Down 7 for True Grosjean, down 3 for both Burton and Jupiter X. But a good start from Rick and Morty. As on board with Brown here, you can see he's just in that slipstream of Reese. Currently looking like the faster driver. But obviously it is all to play for today. And looking at it, Reese does have more ERS on his steering wheel. Together in Sector 2, I think it's either Steel Crusher. I don't know, I think it is Steel Crusher, as he's lost out quite a bit to the guys in front of him. As Reese looks to be track extending there. Jokes everywhere as a track extent of France. It is just the track. Well, the whole track is the track. But we can see Brown going technically up the inside here. A corner you're not really... well, I say not really supposed to, but a corner you'd never expect an overtake on. But Brown is up to first. Reese, though, really trying to just go at him. Brown sets the fastest lap, but Reese is back into first. Brown slots in behind and will again just have to wait to make that overtake. It's a really good fight between these two, as Brown and Trench have run ever so wide. At this point in time, I would just like to say that Trench will be leading the championship and will be driver's champion, as Brown's doing a dive it up the inside there. I don't know if I class that as a safe move, but it happened and I can't really moan. So yeah. Now Brown trying to break the slipstream. All these guys in a row just trying to get there. Brown has got the inside, but he's backed off and let Reese, well, not really let, but he's given Reese the position. As Burton X is out, and that is a whole season with no points from Burton X. You know what? I feel kind of bad for the guy. I mean, in other ways, I kind of don't, so, you know. Anyway, we do have our front five here, all kind of just in a row together. So Hotshot's been overtaken by Jupiter X. As we can see, there's a big gap between the pack, from the front to the back. Unfortunate for Burton X as well, but, you know. Luke Vessel's closed off on the guy behind. That's Crazy Trooper, who he's just overtaken, and he's now even looking at the back of Lightning Poker. And, oh no, it's back and forth here. Obviously DRS, well, DRS isn't enabled for these guys. Oh yeah, it was on the straight. No, it wasn't. It's only just turned lap 3. As Luke Vettel already getting penalties. Not fun. So nobody's going to stop yet, and again, people still staying on the same tyre. Brown has got DRS activated. He was within a second. Trench the same. But Reese just staying in front for now. Trench obviously still in third. The Jigsaw Motor, though, on the back of F1 Button's back. That is not a good sign for the Englishman. What am I saying? Most people here are English. But it's not a good sign for Button. I mean, if he gets overtaken by the Jigsaw Moto, and it's not his title hopes over, but it's near enough. I mean, not only does he have to beat Trench by 4 points, the only place being a position in front would do that is in second with fastest lap, or third with fastest lap, or just first without fastest lap. I mean, looking at Reese, you're not really going to beat him on fastest lap, as Brown has really lost some pace on the last few laps here. I don't know how or why, but Trench has just got past quite easily. And either that or Trench has just gained pace. As you can tell, there is quite a bit of fighting here. Crazy Trooper is closing in on Lightning Poker. The Jigsaw Moto is trying to put pressure on Buttons back in front. And we can see Brown just does have that DRS on Trench, but due to the straight not being the longest, it's not super effective half the time. So Brown will just have to sit back and hope. Anyway, Crazy Trooper getting a 3-second time penalty, but I think they're trying to dive on Lightning Poker. That's a Lightning Poker completely misses the corner. Oh, and F1 True Grosjean's got a penalty. Yeah. I mean, lap 4, and currently there's been quite a bit of action. Trench has been fighting Brown. We've had Crazy Mike and Luke Vettel fighting each other. If Reese setting another fast lap, but Trench instantly beating it. Trench currently the fastest car out on track, which kind of surprised me, honestly. And Lightning Poker now behind Crazy Trooper. I don't know what that happened, but Lightning Poker just completely cutting the corner there. And I know you miss it, son, but like, that's just a bit of a corner cut. I won't lie. Just a smidge. Anyways, True Grosjean is on the back of Rick and Morty for 9th position. Luke Vettel looking quite slow today, and I know he is on manual gears for the first time, but damn, if you're that slow on manual gears, A, I'd say practice when you're not in a league race. Use time trial the Grand Prix, and B, just wow. As you can see, Crazy Trooper and Lightning Poker exchanging positions quite freely here, as True Grosjean and Rick and Morty are both doing the same, or were both doing the same. Meanwhile, nearer to the back of the grid, still Crusher is trying to close in on Jupiter X. It's 6 tenths away currently. And Reese's lead has been cut down yet again by Trench, who does not set another fastest lap, but knows that he is gaining. As Crazy Trooper yet again has got past Lightning Poker, and these two are just having a good ding-dong battle for 6th and 7th. And Luke Vettel's not even gaining up from it. That's the funny thing. These two are just quick against each other and aren't losing loads of time to the guys in front, but aren't being caught by the guys behind either. I mean, France is one of those tracks where you can kind of just do whatever, and you can fight, but you won't really be caught, as it's so wide, and anyway you do fight is just an open area. As it does look like Button's back has closed in on Brown. Brown not looking too good at this point in time, and Button's back looking about 3.3 seconds away from Trench at the moment. At this moment, still Crusher gets a 3-second time penalty. There's a yellow flag in sector 3. Not sure who it is. Oh, it's still Crusher, who's lost a lot of time to Jupiter X. Hotshot getting a penalty for cutting corners. Button's back though, overtaking Brown, who's gone into the pits after 5 laps on softs. And currently the soft runners aren't doing the greatest. I mean, the Jigsaw Moto, yes, up in 4th, but the medium guys are still beating him. Most of them, well, some of them at least, only 3, but still. Brown onto the mediums. He might be doing a soft medium, soft strat. It's quite realistic. See, France's pit lane is quite long. A bit too long sometimes, but Jupiter X will be out quite a way behind Brown, in all fairness. As I say, well, it says 5.4 seconds. I don't think it's exactly that, but still, quite a way behind. As Lightning Poker now has DRS on Crazy Trooper. This could be a good overtake. Crazy Trooper kind of just sitting in the middle of the track there. Lightning Poker with the dive bomb of a century. And these two are still just fighting hammer and nail. Oh, that line could have spun Crazy Trooper quite a lot there. But Lightning Poker just taking very, very deep lines, not really being the greatest of lines going around France here. Crazy Trooper also not having the best of lines, but you know. And you shouldn't be braking mid-apex. And your line should be good enough to not do that, apart from at certain corners where it's kind of just like two corners. As Lightning Poker again, cutting corners there, and has got another 3-second time penalty. And the Jigsaw Moto into the pits as well. And there we go, Crazy Trooper up the inside. Lightning Poker though should be able to get the position back, as Crazy Trooper also cut the corner. So it shows you that it's not just one-sided. Quite a lot of people are doing it. Jupiter X also into the pits and has a 5-second penalty for speeding. Well, that's gonna hurt, I won't lie. Hotshot also exactly the same thing. No, not Hotshot, sorry, Soul Crusher. So Jigsaw Moto's out the pits. Jupiter X, I think, had a penalty or something, but is now back out. And Hotshot moves up to 11th. There's a Crazy Trooper and Lightning Poker again at this same old ding-dong battle. Luke Vettel also a 3-second time penalty. So it still crushes down to the hards. He's probably going to the end. Jupiter X onto the softs and Hotshot onto the softs. I'd just like to say, if Jupiter X is planning to go medium soft soft, the fact that he's only taking his mediums, well, 7 or 8 laps, isn't really helpful. I mean, it's extremely not helpful. Like, if he would probably be only taking his softs 4 laps if that's the case. It's Lightning Poker with another penalty. I mean, just wow. I'm still going to watch this battle, as it's going to be a good one here. Yep, Crazy Trooper making the overtake. Doesn't cut the first corner this time. But instead is still being pressured quite heavily by Lightning Poker. I will just go look at what's happening here between these two. As Brown was overtaken by Rick and Morty. And yet, that's his nickname. That's his official nickname now. Anyway, on to the DRS straight between the Red Bull and the Haas. Lightning Poker, as you can see, up close and personal. Crazy Trooper taking the inside line this time. Looking like he got a bit of contact as well. As both of them, well, yeah, do that. Believe again, Lightning Poker did cut that corner. But unfortunately, from the view I was looking at, it wasn't clear to see. That not really hard to tell. As you can see, Lightning Poker just losing his line yet again. And oh, there's contact. Crazy Trooper didn't back out. He didn't back out enough. And he is now out of the race. That's what you get when you just push too much. I mean, it wasn't a dangerous rejoin, but you could tell from the start that was going to happen. And there was no way he was going to get through there, and look what the consequences were. I bet you now in PlayStation chat someone's about to have a moan. I just have a feeling. We'll go look at the biggest gap, which is currently the smallest gap, which I believe is Luke Vessel on Lightning Poker. He's brought it back down to 2.1 seconds. He might have turned his thing off. And no, actually, no, we've had none. No messages in the FPS chat. Which surprises me. The hot shot into the pits now after 8 laps on his softs. And a live Luke Vessel's not really getting too much time. Hot shot onto the mediums. Could be interesting. As Steel Crusher will overtake him. And there we go. Speaking of overtaking, I think Hotshot might be lapped here by Steel Crusher's teammate. As Buttons back gets a penalty for speeding in the pit lane, he is gone as far as he can go. And yep, Hotshot is out of the pits. Behind Reese. So Buttons back, his pit crew was not ready for him. And he just went into the box there. Has gone for another set of mediums. That's definitely affected him. I mean, not only has his brother True Grosjean overtaken him, but Brown's got back past. And Rick and Morty also getting past. He's now got another car to deal with, as well as catching back up to Brown and trying to overtake Trench in this championship. I mean, technically, if Trench DNFs, he can still win the championship, which is quite funny. Like, even if Buttons back gets, you know, gets 10th or 9th, 10th or 11th, or 12th technically, Trench has still won it. So really, Trench doesn't have to fight for much. But 4 points are still enough, and it will definitely be a good fight to watch. As Buttons back makes his way past the Mercedes of Rick and Morty. Also, I'm not saying Rick, I'm saying Rip, because hashtag not going to copyright that shit. We don't want FPS streams getting taken down now, do we? Yes, we do. I also think this is a good time to announce to anyone on stream that we're doing stuff. So that disconnected my mic there. So yeah, anyway, True Grosjean running to the pits. Yeah, this is about the right time as any to let you lot know that on the Rising Phoenix channel, in a few weeks' time, on the 31st of October, there'll be a event between FormulaPlayStation, WRL, and Rising Phoenix, hosted by Rising Phoenix, with 6 drivers from each team competing in a league versus league versus league. So head over there if you want to go watch that. If you're here to see some of your favourite drivers from FormulaPlayStation, like Reese, Trench, Lightning Poker, Luke Vettel, Brown, anyone, you know, if you want to see them, you want to see them. So, yeah, feel free if you want. So watch it's a 2-second time penalty. I'm going to watch Jigsaw Moto here. Jigsaw Moto is closed down up to down to a second behind Rip and Morty. As a Steel Crusher gets a 3-second time penalty. It's really not looking good for the guys who have kind of stayed on their tires for quite a while. I mean, ignoring the leaders, but Lightning Poker and Luke Vettel have basically both been jumped by Brown and Buttons back. And I don't mean jumped as in, you know, they were close. I mean, like, Brown was quite far away from them. But at the time of pitting, he was only a few seconds in front of them. And now Brown has got past not only Luke Vettel, when on Buttons back, but is only 8 seconds behind Lightning Poker. as the Jigsaw Moto has made his move down the straight, and that is a good move. Steel Crusher has retired from the session. To see if Hotshot here, they just crashed into a wall. That is just peak. Of all the ways to go out. And it's not even a blimmin' yellow flag, not even a safety car. And a safety car now would basically prompt every drive, well, to me at least, a safety car right now would prompt Reese and Trench to go, Reese, Trench, Lightning Poker, and Rick and Morty to go either onto softs for 2 stints, or do the sensible thing, go onto hards. But at the same time, it could also, at the same time, also tell Brown to do the same thing. However, if you were someone like Buttons back, actually no, Brown, it would tell him to go back onto the mediums again. Whereas Buttons back might, you know, stay on his tyre or pit for some fresh softs maybe, or just go for mediums, you know. If a safety car happened, I'm telling you that Brown will win this race. As Trench has done in the pits for some hards. He will be out behind Lightning Poker. How far behind is Brown though? It's not looking too much. And it's definitely not as much as Brown wanted, but Trench was faster. And Brown is now 5.1 seconds behind. And Buttons back is closing in rapidly. I mean, dear lord, 2.4 seconds already. Buttons back is on a roll. I know Buttons back hit in quite a few laps ago, but... yeah, well, 3 laps ago, but only being 7 seconds behind Trench on faster tyres, make that 8 seconds, isn't exactly too bad. And if he can gain that by the time he has to pit, and that's assuming he has to pit, but I presume he will by lap 20. Now, if you can gain that back by lap 20, go onto the softs and finish the race on the softs, and, you know, possibly beat Trench, I really think it'll be a good thing. As a Lightning Poker's here holding up the Trench, doing Reese a favour, who's into the pits for hards. He's already out, and knowing that McLaren's pit lane is the last one, Trench has been royally screwed there. As that's not Trench. This is down here. We can see that Reese is already out. Trench halfway down the straight. Lightning Poker also into the pits. Brown up to 3rd. Buttons back up to 4th. And Rick and Morty through to... the Jigsaw Motor should be out in front of Lightning Poker. But my question is Luke Vessel? Lightning Poker's here. Luke Vessel down here. And nope, he's not beating Lightning Poker out the pits. The Lightning Poker. To tell you that, it will be tight. And even though he lost time, Brown has not caught Trench at all. And that is worrying. And if I'm Brown in this situation, I don't even know what I'm doing. I mean, personally, if I was him, I'd be trying to stretch his tyres 5 more laps. Is this a yellow flag in Sector 3? Is that the one of the leaders? No, it's not. It's Luke Vessel. Or is it? I don't even know who it is. It's someone, okay? Someone in Sector 3 had a oopsie. Looking at the timings, I don't think it was anyone of importance. Oof. Sorry, just had to add that in there. Nobody of importance. The Buttons back does have DRS on Brown here. And Button will want to stay as close to him as possible. So, here he goes. Not going to be able to make the move on the first lap, on the first DRS section. Most likely it will be the second though. Well, at least that's what I'm expecting, but we could be wrong, as I have been many times before. there's no commentating without criticism or wrongness sometimes, and you can't guesstimate without guessing and estimating. As you get a flag in sector 1, it's Luke Vettel. That's got to sting. Not even able to fight Brown for his position in the championship. As Buttons back's got past Brown quite easily. Yeah, I'd say that. I mean, it's a two-way battle here. I say two-way, I mean, it's a battle, and I don't know what I'm saying. I just want to go home, boys. I want to go home. I'm being forced to be here. Jokes. As you get a flag in sector 3, who's that? Is that one of the top guys? No, it's no one of importance again. Or is it Digix almost? Nope. Nope. Can we stop having random flags, please? Like, come on. However, I would like this helicopter cam. And by would, I mean I do. And just wow, I want to say, for Brown. The fact that he can't catch up to Buttons back here shows how much he wears his tyres out. I mean, 10 laps on mediums isn't hard. I would definitely say you could, if you pushed it, softs to mediums. That's if you're pushing it. But other than that, no. Like, you can, like, if you're good at tyre saving, which I know quite a lot of races are, soft to mediums or mediums to softs is a possibility if you've done intermediate or wet qualifying. I know because I've done it personally. I won that race. But the fact that you can't take your mediums 10 laps and even, you know, catch up to a driver when you're like 3 tenths behind is just wow. Hey, I'm not judging though, I'm a commentator. I'm not here. I really had high hopes for Brown, but you know what? It doesn't matter. As we resets the fastest lap on hards, that's just the moment that you want to forget. But Brown has stayed out. As you can see, like 3 tenths behind. And he's just unable to gain here. Like, he's gone down to 2. Like, this movie's like, oh, there we go from Brown. There we go. That's how you make the overtake Brown. Well done to that. Just destroying Buttons back's title race out completely out the window. What I think we should do to make this interesting is you know, pit and see if he can overtake Trench on softs, like, you know, like that 20. I think that would just be funny as hell. To be fair, Reese did take his softs, medium, sorry, 15 laps, so he's basically only going 12 laps on his hards, which is what you'd be doing on softs. Like, why? Just why? That's what I want to know. I know Brown's back to 7 tenths behind. He got re-overtaken by Buttons back whilst I was talking. Does he get a flag in sector 3? Is it one of the leaders? No. Is it? Nope. 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 Where's that fake yellow flag coming from then? Oh, Brown is into the pits. And he is on 2 mediums. Okay, that is unfortunate for Brown, I'll be honest. Could have thought he'd have, I don't know, just maybe done something better. I could have thought like you could have taken the softs at least 9 laps, but no, Brown's onto the mediums. Lightning Poker out past him. True Grosjean will be out there trying to fight him. But I know he's nowhere near actually, my apologies. So now it's just kind of everyone's in their own little pack. Brown will be able to catch up to Lightning Poker, that's for sure, but man, the Jigsaw Moto no doubt has to go back into the pits as Lightning Poker's fighting a back marker. But yeah, Lightning Poker definitely has to go back into the pit. No, words, please. The Jigsaw Moto has to go back into the pits. There's no doubt on that one. I mean, he can't go to the end of the race on those mediums. Neither can Hot Shot. Neither could Buttons back. Actually, you know what? I'll give Buttons back the benefit of the doubt being able to go. But no, actually, no, he needs to go into softs. It would just be a waste if he didn't. And it's quite clear that Jigsaw Moto is going to get 5th anyway. Because Lightning Poker has so many penalties. And unless True Grosjean steps up the pace, I don't think he's going to be able to mount a challenge on the Jigsaw Moto after he hits, so I'm just saying, as there we go, Lightning Poker with another penalty. Seven laps to go until the end of season 1, and currently your standings will look like Trench will win the whole thing. Buttons back will be second, and Reese will just be in third. And also, currently does look like Alfa Romeo will be champions. The 11-point gap, technically still an 11-point gap. Actually made a 13-point gap after today's race. The only way to even try and stop that was if Buttons back not only got first place and fastest lap, and let's say Trent stays where he is, Buttons back would have to get first place and fastest lap along with his teammate, moving from 10th to 8th. So to put into perspective, it's not going to happen. That is the unfortunate realisation. Buttons back, so close but yet so far. He's pitted off of his mediums. Is the Jigsaw Moto going to do the same thing on the softs as well? And if the Jigsaw Moto carries his tyres to the end, then I'll be surprised, but he's not, so. Right, Lightning Poker continues to go through Brown, 1.7 seconds behind him. True Grosjean, 8 seconds behind. Jigsaw Moto overtaken by Lightning Poker. I'm trying to get onto Buttons back here, but he's out. Jigsaw Moto on the softs as well. Both of them going for the softs, going for fastest lap. As the True Grosjean gets past the Jigsaw Moto. And it looks like it will be a mad panic dash to the finish for these guys. Buttons back has to hope he doesn't gain up too much to Brown and Lightning Poker this lap to go get fastest lap. But then after that he wants to just chase them down, and I am sure of that one. Meanwhile, the Jigsaw Moto is on two compounds better tyres than the Jigsaw Moto. No, then the True Grosjean, for goodness sake, people with D's in the name and me are just not working well. Actually, nobody's really working well with me, but yep. Oh, Trench into the pits. What? I mean, that's a twist. That is a twist. He's gone for sauce. Obviously, he's going to go for sauce, but I mean, just wow. I wasn't expecting that. So really, Buttons back really has messed up his strategy today. But Trench knew he was in the pits, so maybe it's not a mess up, but still. Kind of giving Wee Reese a chance now to go set fastest lap if he wants. As a Brown gets a 3-second time penalty, now stuck behind Lightning Poker too. He's made a dive. Oh, he's got the dive easy. Brown back up to third. And, well, if it stays like this, still, Button's back will be in third. Second, sorry. He technically only has to score 2 points to confirm second, but... Yep, there we go. Reese has gone into the pits. Trench has kind of just screwed everyone else over now for fastest lap. Looking to get in for himself, and Reese goes into the pits. You know, really not the smartest idea there from Trench. I mean, yes, he was trying to get another point, but when you're already winning the championship, there's no point. There is no point. I mean, yeah, you want your total to be higher, but that's just you being a bit selfish, if I'm being honest. I mean, someone else could have got fastest lap, and they wouldn't have caught you in the championship, but they could have fought their own little battles there, and, you know, gained 1 point on someone they needed to. Button's back, though, getting his fastest lap here, as he's already on Lightning Poker and already passed. I mean, wow. Just wow. I mean, already we can see how close-knit these guys are here. And this is going to be one hell of a battle between Button and Brown. Meanwhile, the battle between the Jigsaw Moto and True Grosjean will also be an immense battle. I really can't say that enough. And they don't matter in the grand scheme of things, but they are still two brilliant battles that I'm sure will be taking place here. As this one does look to be one that will go on for quite some time. We'll stay with the Jigsaw Moto just to see him pressure the True Grosjean. 3 attempts behind now. The True Grosjean, you know, just trying to stay in front. I mean, he's got 3 laps to defend in theory, so not too many. As Trench sets the fastest lap of the race, and Reese has got a 3-second time penalty, so Trench could still win this race somehow. And maybe his plan didn't work after all, forcing Reese into a pit stop, but I don't think that was his plan whatsoever. As Button's back's now 5 tenths behind the Jigsaw Moto, though only 2. As we can see here, both of them fighting side by side. It's tight. It is tight as hell. But the Jigsaw Moto comes out on top over the Red Bull and is now in front of True Grosjean. Button's back, closing in on Brown. And old Trench has lost so much time there to Reese. I mean, look at that speed from Button's back. He has just got straight line speed in comparison to the Ferrari there. I mean, you can really tell by the better acceleration here. And maybe it's just a better exit from the corners, but wow. Has Button's back been very good today. And so is Brown, in all fairness, but as we can see, Brown is just pressuring so much. The Jigsaw Moto's passed the True Grosjean again. I mean, that's how you do it. I'm just waiting for... Oh no, Reese didn't set the fastest lap of the race. Have to be honest, that kind of surprises me, but he's probably going to save it to the end. As there's DRS here for Brown on Button's back. But we can just see from Button's back's straight line speed, it is just way too much for him. As Lightning Poke with another 3-second time penalty. And how many can you get before we get disqualified? And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 penalties. I'm sure one more and he's out. I swear, one more and he's disqualified from this race. I mean, just slow it down a bit. I understand if you get caught on one corner, but it's like every single corner sort that camera angle out. Or something, just, wow. Yeah. What was Reese's lap time? I do want to know. His most recent lap time was a 1:32.8, his personal best. Trenchlow set a 1:32.4 and then went into 1:35 territory. Oh dear Lord, Trench. Like, that's just such a decrease. And a 3-second difference. And again, I swear, like, Trench literally went to fastest lap, but no. We reached, obviously, ERS saving and got a penalty as well. Jigsaw Motor with a 3-second time penalty, but Button's back coming through. The start finish straight with Brown just behind. 2 laps to go. It's looking like it's all to play for. And Lightning Poker has 27 seconds of penalties. So in theory, if, and I'm saying only if, my boy here, Rip and Morty, can gain up enough time, he will technically be able to get in front of Lightning Poker. But that's again being really hopeful, so. And that also depends if Rip and Morty has any penalties. No, he doesn't. He's had a very clean race. True Grosjean, on the other hand, had 2. The Jigsaw Moto has had one penalty. You just compare it to... yeah. As Reese has started lap 27, he's not even caring about fastest lap. He's just going for that win. I mean, who wouldn't? And he got 1:32.9, so maybe this lap he will try and push completely. Really not sure. But away he goes. Whew. Wee Reese has got another penalty. He doesn't even care. He does not even care. Brown with a 3-second time penalty as well. Only 2 who have been lapped, and obviously had 4 DNFs, but oh well. Fastest lap still is Trench's. But it's currently looking like my boy Rip and Morty down in 8th and won't be getting a position unless someone's... It's Lightning Poker who's crashed into Sector 2. Oh, and he's almost just caused another crash with the Jigsaw Moto. Oh dear Lord. And he's been disqualified. He's been disqualified. On the last lap of the race, Lightning Poker has been disqualified, which moves Luke Vettel into 10th. I mean, wow. Wee Reese gets the win, Trench in 2nd, confirming he is our driver's champion. Button's back into 3rd, confirming his 2nd place in the standings. Brown 4th, which is where he'll come in the standings as well. Jupiter X confirms 8th. The Jigsaw Motor here though, getting 5th position. And yeah, just well done to him. True Grosjean in 6th. And whilst we wait for the next 2 to come round, I don't know how far away they are. Well, yeah, as we wait for them to come round, I'm going to give my driver of the day today. You know what? I actually don't know who to give it to. I actually don't know who to give it to for once. I don't really think anyone's strat worked today. I really don't. I think they just happened. And most positions gained have been from disqualifications. So I'm just going to give today's driver of the day to Wee Reese. I'm just going to give it to him. He deserves it. He's guessing it. So well done, Reese. You're my driver of the day. But but we don't care about Reese. We care about Trench. So I want everyone in the comments of this stream to say well done, Trench. And you got no penalties, man. Well done, Trench, for that. But just a GG to Trench. Say well done. He deserved the title. And he came there every week, in all fairness. Some other drivers didn't, but, you know, you've got to be consistent. And he was. So well done, Trench. You are the first official FPS champion. And also well done to Alfa Romeo, who are the first official FPS Constructors champions. So well done. But that is where we come to the end for quite a delightful season. It's been a blast throughout all the races that I've been able to attend. And, you know, I've been able to meet such amazing people. So, personally, I want to say thank you to everyone here. Not just for turning up, but for being such great hosts in this community. And second of all, I want to say a big thanks to Trench for giving me this job as commentator. And yeah, let's do it for Season 2, boys. FPS, we'll be back in a couple of weeks. Peace.